Hey everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Ian, I'm Ian the Reader, and today I'm coming at you with my October book wrap-up thing. Reading wrap-up. I don't know why I forgot what that was called for a second. Please excuse the weird lighting. If I move, you can see my phone silhouetted here. Haha, so fun. Yeah, I've been really busy with work lately, I won't lie to you, and so I am filming this at night when I normally film during the day and use natural lighting. And it's also coming to you a day late because I have no organizational skills, apparently. But you'll have to forgive me. It's been a weird month. But yeah, so I'm here today to talk to you guys about all of the books that I read in the month of October, which was not a lot. It was 8 books, which is a little bit below average for me, but not too crazy. Yeah, but I have a lot to say about these books, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right on in. Like last month, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my least favorite book and work my way up to my favorite book. I did not have any 5 stars this month, but I did have some 4.5s that I'm very excited to talk about. The first book that I wanted to talk to you about today is Crave by Tracy Wolff, which I do have a physical copy of, but I can't find the dust jacket for it. And guess what? I don't care, because I hated this book. It was not good. It was not for me at all. It was a 1.5 star, and originally I gave it a 2, but the more I thought about it, the less I liked it, which is not good. Yeah, so it was a 1.5. It was the first book that I read for my vampire reading vlog challenge, and it was bad, like cringe bad, super over the top ridiculous. Yeah, I liked the setting, that it was at like a prep school in Alaska. I thought that was pretty cool, and the descriptions of like the school itself were pretty interesting. That's it. That's all I liked. Not for me. I hope you guys enjoy it if you've read it, but I'll stay away from those from now on. My second to least favorite book of the month was a shocker, because I really thought this book was going to be like possibly a 5-star for me, and that was Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This was the last book that I read for my vampire reading challenge, so I really had like pretty rough bookends. But this was a 2.5 star for me. I know a lot of people love this book. I had some issues with it. I'm not gonna dig too deep into it because I kind of had a rant at the end of my last reading vlog. You guys should totally check that out though. I had a lot of fun making the vampire reading vlogs. But yeah, I mean, this book just really wasn't for me. The writing was obnoxious at times. I just didn't feel connected to the characters at all. I don't begrudge you if you enjoyed this book. Again, like, good for you. I think people should love what they love as far as it comes to reading and all that. And yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's awesome, but I did not. It was too long too. It was freaking so long. But yeah, not for me. Not for me. All right, my third book I want to talk to you guys about today is Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris, which I have right here. This book was good. It was entertaining. Like, that's the thing about this book. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was entertaining. Like, what can I say? It wasn't anything spectacular. It didn't blow me out of the water. It wasn't like anything super groundbreaking, but I did think it was kind of down to earth in ways I didn't expect, and I thought it was a good time. I mean, I'll probably pick up book 2, honestly, just because it seems like a really lighthearted read that I can just pick up whenever I need something to kind of get me out of a slump. And yeah, so it was okay. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. Next up, I also wanted to talk about another vampire book, Interview with the Vampire. I'm telling you guys, I read way too many vampires books this month. This was like the 4th book I read for my reading challenge, and again, it was good. I respect a lot of the things the author did in the book in regard to like the questions she raised and kind of the parallels between, you know, the vampire struggles and the struggles of just, you know, humanity in general. But I just didn't enjoy it a lot. Like, it just wasn't a fun read for me. I mean, it was okay. Like, it was very well done and I respect it, but I didn't actually like enjoy it that much. So 3.5 for me. Yeah, I may or may not continue with the series. I know there's like 12 books or something like that, but we'll see. I might or might not pick it up. I haven't decided. And the next book I wanted to talk to you guys about is the second to last vampire book that I will be discussing today, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I also gave this a 3.5 stars. A lot of 3.5 stars in the vampire reading vlog, which isn't bad. It's, you know, like middle of the road, a little bit higher, but whatever. This was another one I thought I was going to enjoy more. I enjoyed some aspects of it. Like, I thought the writing was pretty good most of the time. I thought Dracula himself, you know, is legendary for a reason. He's amazing, but it was boring. Like, this book was pretty boring, I won't lie to you. There were some really intense and chilling moments, but they were few and far between. There was a lot of just like monotony, honestly. I mean, it was still fine, for what it is. And it did a lot for the vampire genre, obviously, but again, I just didn't enjoy myself that often. I did enjoy myself, like when I enjoy myself, I loved it, but it was just kind of middle of the road most of the time. So 3.5, whatever. Okay, so the first non-vampire book that I want to talk to you guys about is House of Holo by Crystal Sutherland. I'm trying to make it so the reflection isn't in here, because I'm sorry, you guys. This is going to be pretty low quality, but whatever. It's all I got for you today. Yeah, so House of Holo by Crystal Sutherland. I read this as part of the hashtag Openly Booked Book Club on Instagram, hosted by Kim. Kim's Open Books and Permanently Booked over on Instagram. They're both really great. You should totally follow their accounts. But yeah, I had a blast with this book. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. A little bit about this book. It's a YA, like, horror kind of book, and it follows three sisters, the Holo sisters. And when they were children, they disappeared for a period of time, for like days, and nobody knew where they were, and then they just show up and they have no memories from before the abduction, and they can't remember anything about it, and they just have to go on with their lives. And that's the setup, but then the sisters have kind of drifted apart a little bit until one of them actually goes missing again, and then the youngest sister, I think her name is Iris, she decides to, you know, try to find her sister and everything like that. But I loved reading this book, actually. It was really, really mysterious. It was very eerie. There was some pretty intense body horror to it. Like, I was creeped out by some of the descriptions in this book. But really the mystery is what hooked me with this. I had no idea what was going on, but I enjoyed it so much. And, you know, when you start to figure it out, it's pretty twisted, to be honest. And the author made some decisions that I really didn't see coming. And that doesn't happen very often in books in general, but also especially like in YA books. It really didn't feel like a YA book for the most part. Like, a few pages probably were like set in a high school, but the rest of the book wasn't, and the characters have to face very serious decisions and circumstances, and it was really great. I was riveted, honestly. So if you are into horror, or if you want to try a YA book and you're not sure what to get into, I think House of Holo is a really, really great option. I enjoyed myself a lot. 4 stars. And unfortunately, I did not stick to my TBR for the month very much at all. I read my 6 vampire books, and then I read 2 other books that were just random picks that I decided to pick up because I wanted to, and that's just how it went. I told you guys in my last TBR that I stick to my TBRs about like 70%. That might have been like optimistic, but I did the best I could. The second to last book I want to talk to you guys about today is called The Last House on Needless Street by, oh man, I think it's like Catriona Ward. I don't know how you say that name. I'm bad with names. You guys should know this by now. I'm really bad with names. But anyway, I think her name is Catriona Ward or something like that. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. I actually got an e-arc of this from NetGalley, but then I didn't read it, and I ended up listening to the audiobook on Scribed, and wow, I was blown away by this book. Not only by the storytelling, but also the reader of the audiobook. He does a spectacular job. There's a lot of different characters that are voiced in this book, and he did all of them, and some of them were like male, some of them were female, and one of them was a cat. And he pulled them all off. Like, he did a spectacular job. But this book, I'm really not going to tell you anything about because I don't want to reveal anything. It's very mysterious. It's very edge of your seat. It's very much you don't know what's really going on until the last page. Not the last page, but pretty close. And it's amazing. Yeah, if you like horrors, if you like kind of like thrilling books or like psychological thrillers, this book is incredible. You should really pick it up. I'd say like a 4.25, honestly, because I really am impressed by what the author did with this book. I mean, I'll read anything she writes at this point because it was incredible. The last book that I wanted to talk to you guys about was a shocker, and it was my favorite book for the month, and it was Bloodsucker City by Jim Towns. This book was great. It was so concise. It was a novella, and I got an e-arc for it on NetGalley, and it's actually out now. It came out on November 2nd, so the day before I'm posting this, the day that I should have originally posted this. Yeah, it's out, so you should totally check it out. It's really worth your time. This book was a lot of fun. I had a good time with it. I thought the writing was pretty well done, better than I expected, and I just like the setting. So this follows a woman who is wrongfully convicted of having murdered her son. She obviously didn't do it, and she goes to prison, and it's a women's only prison. It's set in like the 1920s, I think, or maybe the 1950s. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, so she goes to Steelgate Prison, and it's run by the wardens of Steelgate, who might or might not be vampires. So you can see for yourself, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought that it was the perfect length. It could have been longer. He could have done it and it would have been justified. But I thought that everything about it flowed really nicely. I thought that it was really well done. It was really enjoyable from start to finish. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what Jim Towns does next, because I thought Bloodsucker City was really good. But that's it. That's all I have to talk to you guys about today in regard to my October wrap-up. I didn't really delve too deeply into my thoughts on these because honestly, most of what I read this month were vampire books, and I did 2 vampire reading vlogs already. Those are like 30 minutes each. You should totally check them out because I put a lot of work into them, but I'm done talking about vampire books, especially those. So yeah, if you want to know more of my thoughts on 6 out of 8 of the books that I have read this month, you should totally check that out. You can also check my full review of House of Holo over on Instagram, and I will be posting a full review of The Last House on Needless Street, either on Instagram or on YouTube. I haven't decided yet. I may film a video for it and do like a non-spoiler and spoiler section because my goodness, are there some spoilers to delve into with The Last House on Needless Street. But that's it for my October wrap-up. Keep an eye out for Friday. I'm going to be posting my November TBR. I have some really exciting reading plans for the month of November that I'm just so hyped about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that jazz. I appreciate you guys so much. Stick around, don't be a stranger, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!